International newspapers now with Flo Villamino. Hi there.
Hi, Kat.
Let's start off in South Africa. A very sad story. Papers mourning the death of the captain of the national football team.
That's right, Senzo Meyiwa. He was a national hero, and there's a lot of emotion in the South African press. Let's start by looking at the Sowetan. On their front page, they talk about Senzo's final moments. So he was the goalkeeper and the captain of the South African football team, and South African papers are reporting that he was murdered by robbers at his girlfriend's house near Johannesburg. Now, the Sowetan takes a closer look at the investigation. Police are still trying to figure out exactly what happened on Sunday evening. They report that he was shot in the chest at his girlfriend's house, but you can see the headline here. It says that the keeper may have been shot by mistake after a scuffle for the gun. Police are actually offering a reward of 250,000 rand. That's about 18,000 euros for any information about three suspects involved.
And it is quite well known, isn't it, that violent crime is quite a big problem in South Africa. But this guy, Senzo Meyiwa, is not the only sports star to have been killed in this way.
That's right. The Sowetan reports some more about this. They say that he is the latest, actually, in a series of tragic deaths that have robbed South Africa, the football team, of top talent. Not only that, he isn't the only sports star to have been killed by criminals. And as you were saying, his death really highlights a resurgence in a violent crime in South Africa. Official figures from April 2013 to March 2014 show that the murder rate in South Africa has increased by 5%. That's an average of 47 people per day murdered during that period. So his death has really sparked a lot of anger in the media. A lot of people are saying this is the last straw. Let's take a look at the front page of Beeld. That's an Afrikaans paper. This word here, that means enough. And you can see people there from the South African football team mourning his death as they learned about it. The Citizen also on their front page says stop the killing and points out that South Africans from all sectors of life expressed their shock and anger yesterday, and there's a real call for something to be done about not only violent crimes, but illegal guns in South Africa.
All right, let's move over stateside. A lot of papers focusing on this controversy about a nurse being quarantined over Ebola fears, even though she says she was showing no symptoms.
That's right. Now, the Washington Post points out that there is actually no unity over monitoring people coming back from West Africa. The rules on quarantine health care workers returning from West Africa are changing almost daily and vary according to geography and political climate. Basically, there's no federal rule here. It becomes a chaotic brawl involving politics, science, and the law, according to the Washington Post here. Yesterday, the Pentagon announced that the Army was going to quarantine personnel coming back from Liberia for 21 days in Italy, even though none of them have shown, symptoms of Ebola. You can read about it here in Slate. Now, the New York Times is really focusing on this in their editorial today and says there's absolutely no public health justification for mandatory quarantine.
Although when we had that nurse in Spain who did have Ebola and she'd been out and about for a long time, her husband was put in quarantine, her dog was put down. So it's not just America that's very worried and not sure about what to do.
Definitely a global question that's being asked. Are these good measures or not? The New York Times argues that it's not a good measure and says that actually these kind of policies create panic and cause more damage. For one reason, they confuse people, and also they discourage health workers from volunteering to fight Ebola in West Africa because they're afraid that they're going to be put in quarantine when they come back.
Okay, papers also commenting on a new video that's been published by the Islamic State group. It shows the British hostage John Cantley once again.
That's right. Now, let's take a look at the Daily Beast. They have an interesting headline here. They talk about this hostage from the Islamic State group on the dark side. Now, they really focus on this slickly produced video where he's seen reporting inside the besieged town of Kobani. Now, The Daily Beast says this is clearly a propaganda video, and it's less about what he's saying than the subtle message that's being passed across. First of all, this video starts with a drone shot video, and then after that, it takes a look. It focuses on him, he looks very healthy, and you can see that he's dressed in black, not the orange jumpsuit that he's been shown in before. So the Daily Beast asked UK security officials what they thought, and they think this video is very troubling. It raises a lot of questions. Was this filmed under duress? Is this Stockholm Syndrome, or is he double playing them? It raises a lot of questions, but according to this, what they're trying to show here is their military capabilities in this video.
All right, we've just got time for one more news story out of Britain. A new report on gender equality, and it's bad news for Britain.
That's right. The UK has slipped out of the top 20 countries for gender equality. You can read about it here in The Guardian. This is the latest report by the World Economic Forum that rates gender gaps according to 4 categories: the economy, education, health, and politics. Now, the UK has slipped from number 18 to 26. Here's the top 20. You can see France number 16, the US number 20. The top 5 for a woman is to live in Iceland, Finland, Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. Those are the top 5.
Look north in that case.
Yeah, basically you have to go north.
Okay, bad news for Britain, but good news for Scandinavia. Thanks very much, Flo Villamino there with a look through the international papers for us. Time for us to take a short break. Coming up, updates on our top news stories, plus our special focus report. Today, we're meeting some of the refugees who are fleeing war and devastation in Syria and Iraq and finding shelter in a Europe that's neither ready nor particularly willing.